Bienvenidos a otro video. Hoy vamos a hablar del presente y los verbos que son irregulares cuando el sujeto soy yo. See? So these are verbs that are irregular only when the subject is yo, or their most irregular form is when the subject is yo. I like to divide these into groups. So we're going to start with our first group, and I like to call these the yogo verbs. So these are verbs that when your subject is yo, they end in go. And some of these are verbs that you know very well. For example, the verb tengo. Como yo tengo un problema. Yo tengo chocolate. Yo tengo 36 años. Okay, tengo. So you'll see on tengo, the end of my verb ends in this go. Okay? Otros ejemplos son, or examples that we use quite a bit, include pongo. Pongo, which is originally from the verb poner, and tengo, which is from tener, which also has a stem change. Okay, so pongo, like yo pongo la mesa, yo pongo mis zapatos en mi cuarto. ¿Sí? Otro ejemplo viene del verbo hacer, hacer, which means to do or to make. And this, in the present yo, is hago. Okay, por ejemplo, yo hago mi tarea, yo hago mucho trabajo, yo hago pastel para mi familia. Another common yogo verb is from decir. Decir, which means to say or to tell, and this yogo is digo. Maybe you've noticed I'm using digo a lot in our book right now because every time Dionara talks, she says digo, digo, I say. Okay, there are quite a few verbs in this yogo list. Okay, so just down here, I'm just going to put a few more of these that change. Okay, caer, we've got, and I'm just going to put their yogo form. Caer changes to caigo, I fall. I do. Caigo mucho. Soy torpe. We also have salgo, which means I leave or I go out. Like, salgo los sábados al cine. Traigo. Traigo means I bring. Como yo traigo brownies a la fiesta. Another example of a yogo verb is vengo. See, vengo a clase tarde. I come to class late. Vengo tarde. Another one is oigo. Oigo, which means I hear. Oigo un sonido. Okay, so these are all just different when my subject is yo. Caigo, salgo, traigo, instead of caio, salo, y trao. Vengo, oigo, instead of vieno and oyo. Don't ask why. It's just the way that it is. Also, you should know that any verb that ends similarly to these is also going to have the change. For example, any word that ends in poner is going to have the same change. Okay? For example, proponer, which means to propose, would change to propongo. That's an N. It just got erased. Sorry about that. Propongo. Okay? Or, for example, componer, which means to compose, would become compongo, because it has poner inside of it. Okay, another example of this is traer. If I have a word like distraer, which means to distract, distraer, it would be yo distraigo. Once again, giving me the same change as I had in the original verb. Okay? So all of these verbs, or any verb that contains any of these, is going to make the same change. Okay? Tener has a lot of these. For example, obtener, which is to get or to obtain, would become obtengo. Or contener, which means to contain, contengo. Mantener, to maintain, mantengo. Como yo mantengo la paciencia. Okay, so these are all my yogo verbs. Just ignore me. The last practice has a lot of these in it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our next group of irregular yos. And this group I like to call the yo-sco verbs. As you may guess, our last ones ended in go, and these verbs are going to end in sco. Note, it's always a Z and not an S. So if we were in Spain, it would be the yo-sco verbs. So these verbs usually end in CER or CIR, okay? Pretty much the rule of thumb is if it ends in CER or CIR, it's going to end in SCO when your subject is yo. There are exceptions. There's always exceptions. It's Spanish. But that's just the rule of thumb. So let's take a look at some of these verbs. The most commonly used verb of these is going to be conocer. Okay, you can see how it ends in ser there. Conocer, to know or to be familiar with. When it is in the yo form, becomes conozco. Okay? Por ejemplo, yo conozco mi mamá. I know my mom. Not everyone knows their mom, though, so I should. So, yo conozco, or yo no conozco Denver. I'm not familiar with Denver. I don't like cities. Another example would be any word that has conocer inside of it, okay? For example, if I come here and I put an RE, reconocer, to recognize, would be reconozco, I recognize. Okay, como reconozco esta persona, I recognize that person. Reconozco el arte de Picasso. I recognize Picasso's art, okay? Other verbs that are similar to conocer are aparecer, to appear, is going to become aparezco, I appear. Okay, aparezco triste en el video porque estoy actuando. See, I appear. Okay, another common one is agradecer. Agradecer, which means to be thankful for. Okay, como yo agradezco el apoyo de mis estudiantes. I am grateful for or thankful for the support of my students. Another common one is conducir. Conducir means to drive. You can also use manejar for to drive, but conducir is also used. So yo conduzco would be I drive. So as you can see, all of these are ending in sco. Conozco, reconozco, aparezco, agradezco, conduzco. However, if my subject is not yo, it is normal. So tú reconoces. Ella aparece. Nosotros agradecemos. Ellos conducen. Completely normal, everywhere but yo. A few more verbs that change, like these that I have mentioned, include producir, which is to produce, produzco, right? Merecer. Merecer means to deserve. Okay, so merezco más dinero por el trabajo que yo hago. Another one in this group would be ofrecer, which is to offer. Ofrezco agua a mis invitados. Obedecer, to obey. Obedezco mis padres a veces. Pertenecer, which means to belong to. Yo pertenezco al club de libros. See, I belong to the club. Pertenezco al club. And parecer, which means to seem. Okay, como parezco feliz, pero estoy triste. Right? I seem happy, but I am sad. Okay, these are quite a few. These all end, or I'm going to give you one more because I think it's an important one. Traducir, which means to translate. Yo traduzco muchas veces de inglés a español y de español a inglés. And then one last one, which is lucir. Lucir means to show off. Okay, como yo luzco mis movimientos de baile porque soy experta. We have one more group of these irregular yos. And these are the ones that don't follow any rules. Okay, so the first three are going to be somewhat similar, but they're three that we use all of the time. So if I have the verb ir, which we should all know by now, ir means to go. Okay, I'm going to say yo voy. Yo voy a clase, yo voy a casa, yo voy a la iglesia, voy al supermercado, voy a Hawaii. ¿Por qué no? Okay. Ser, which means to be, changes to soy. Soy mediana, soy torpe, soy interesante, soy ocupada todo el tiempo. Our next one is estar, which also means to be, but it's more a feeling or a location. Okay? Please don't think of it as a temporary thing because that can sometimes get confusing. So think of it as a feeling or a location. So estoy en la escuela, estoy preocupada, estoy en mi clase favorita. Another irregular one like these is dar, to give, changes to doy. Okay, so doy mucho tiempo a mis estudiantes para practicar en casa. No doy mucha tarea. Yo doy ayuda cuando es necesario. Ver, which means to see. They include it in this group of irregular yos, but it's not that irregular. All that we do is keep the E instead of taking it off. Yo veo. Veo Netflix. Veo, ¿qué veo? Yo veo problemas. Veo pájaros que cantan en los árboles. Okay, veo, I see. One that everybody needs to learn is saber. Saber means to know, like to know information or how to do something. So it is say. I ask the question a lot, like, ¿sabes? Do you know? ¿Sabes la respuesta? Do you know the answer? Sí, sé la respuesta. Yes, I know the answer. Okay? No sé, I don't know. No sé. Sé is a very important irregular yo. And then the last one, which is completely and totally out of left field, caber. Caber means to fit. And it changes to capo. For example, no capo en mis pantalones. Maybe I should stop eating. No capo en mis pantalones. Now, as I have said before, it is very important to remember that these are yo irregulars. That means that the only place, the absolute only place that this change happens is when the subject is yo. Okay? So, using my example of capo, I would say yo capo en mis pantalones. But if my subject is anyone else, anybody other than yo, so any subject other than yo, so we'll say el perro. El perro, which would be represented by the pronoun el, would be el perro cabe. El perro cabe en la caja. Okay, this yo change, this capo, only changes for yo. Okay, very important to note. Let's try another one. Okay, so once again, this change is only for yo. So let's take the verb conocer, right? So yo conozco a Antonio Banderas in my dreams. Okay, so yo conozco, I know. But if my subject is anybody else, so yo conozco a Antonio Banderas. Pero él no conoce a mí. But he does not know me. So you'll notice this Z is nowhere to be found. Okay? Not included if my subject is anyone other than yo. Please let me know if you have any questions.